The cheese that cost a tail. In a cozy corner beneath an old oak tree, there lived a mother mouse named Marina and her curious young son, Milo. Their home was a snug little hole, lined with soft dandelion fluff and bits of cotton they had carefully gathered. Life was simple and peaceful, and Marina worked hard to keep her son safe and well fed. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Marina would gather Milo close and tell him the same important warning. "My dear Milo," she would say, her whiskers twitching with concern, "you must never, ever venture into the people's house. It may look inviting, but it is filled with dangers that you cannot even imagine. Traps, cats, and countless perils await any mouse foolish enough to wander inside." Milo would nod obediently, but his bright eyes sparkled with curiosity. He often wondered what treasures and adventures lay beyond the walls of the human home that stood nearby. The sweet smells that wafted from its windows made his tiny nose twitch with interest. One warm afternoon, while Marina was out gathering seeds and berries for their winter store, Milo's curiosity finally got the better of him. The house seemed quiet, almost inviting. "Just a quick peek," he whispered to himself. "Mother will never know, and I'll be back before she returns." With his heart racing with excitement, Milo scurried across the garden and squeezed through a small crack beneath the kitchen door. The moment he entered, his eyes grew wide with wonder. The kitchen was enormous from his tiny perspective, filled with towering cabinets and mysterious appliances that hummed softly. But what caught Milo's attention most was a beautiful golden wedge of cheese sitting on the floor near the pantry. It gleamed in the afternoon light streaming through the window, and its rich, creamy aroma made his mouth water. Never had he seen such a magnificent piece of cheese. Without thinking, Milo darted toward the treasure, his tiny paws pattering across the smooth floor. He was so focused on the cheese that he didn't notice the strange wooden platform it sat upon, nor the suspicious metal bar hovering above it. Just as Milo's whiskers touched the cheese, he felt a sudden, terrible shift beneath his feet. His mother's warnings flashed through his mind. Too late. He heard a sharp snap and felt a crushing pain shoot through his tail. "A trap!" Milo squeaked in horror. He tried to run, but his tail was caught firmly in the metal bar's cruel grip. Panic flooded through him as he pulled and twisted, but the trap held fast. Tears streamed down his furry cheeks as he cried out in pain and fear, realizing the terrible mistake he had made. Meanwhile, Marina returned home with her gatherings, calling cheerfully for her son, but the hole was silent. Her joy quickly turned to dread as she searched every corner of their home. "Milo! Milo, where are you?" she called, her voice growing more desperate with each passing moment. A mother's instinct is powerful, and Marina suddenly remembered all her warnings about the people's house. Her heart sank. She raced across the garden faster than she had ever run before, following her son's faint scent trail. When Marina squeezed through the crack in the door, the sight before her broke her heart. There was her precious Milo, trapped and crying, his tail caught in the merciless jaws of a mousetrap. Blood matted his fur, and his little body trembled with pain and shock. "Mother! Mother, I'm so sorry," Milo sobbed. "You were right!" "I should have listened." Marina's eyes filled with tears, but she knew there was no time for scolding. She had to act quickly. She examined the trap and realized with a heavy heart that there was only one way to free her son. His tail would have to be severed. "My brave boy," Marina whispered, trying to keep her voice steady despite her anguish. "This will hurt, but I must do this to save you. Be strong, my darling." With swift, decisive action born of desperate love, Marina gnawed through her son's tail at the point where it was trapped. Milo cried out, but within moments, he was free. Marina quickly pulled him away from the trap and led him toward the door, supporting his weak body with her own. They made their way back home, where Marina tenderly cleaned Milo's wound and wrapped it with soft moss. As Milo lay recovering in their hole, now missing his beautiful long tail, he looked up at his mother with eyes full of remorse and newfound wisdom. "Mother," he said quietly, "I was foolish and disobedient. I thought I knew better than your warnings. I wanted adventure and excitement, but all I found was pain and danger. Because of my carelessness, I've lost my tail, and I could have lost my life. I've learned that your rules aren't meant to spoil my fun. They're meant to keep me safe because you love me." Marina nuzzled her son gently. "My dear Milo, you've learned one of life's hardest lessons today. Sometimes wisdom comes at a price. But the important thing is that you've truly learned from this experience. From now on, you'll carry this reminder with you always, not just in your missing tail, but in your heart and mind." From that day forward, Milo never again ignored his mother's advice. He became the most cautious and alert mouse in the entire field. Though he carried the mark of his mistake for the rest of his life, his missing tail served as a constant reminder to think before acting, to respect the wisdom of those who loved him, and to understand that curiosity without caution can lead to disaster. As the years passed, Milo would often share his story with other young mice, lifting his tailless body as a living lesson. "Listen to those who care for you," he would tell them. "Their experience and love can save you from pain that no adventure is worth." Moral: heed the wisdom and warnings of those who love you, for they speak from experience and care. Curiosity without caution can lead to painful consequences, and sometimes the lessons we learn the hard way leave permanent marks. It's better to trust in guidance than to learn through